it's up to you guys to keep practicing that. One thing I want to stress about is gloves. And this is a general statement for all competitors and a consensus for all the judges. You only have to use gloves when? What? Okay, she said raw meat, I don't agree with her. That's it. The key word is handling ready-to-eat foods. Foods that will not be prepared or heated, and the foods that are going straight from the workstation to the plate to the customer. So, fabrication fish, fabrication chicken, the only time you should be wearing gloves is when you have burns or cuts on your hands, where you have issues with your own personal hands. But if you become a hindrance, you guys are young now, so don't practice that. Practice fabricating and getting used to holding your knife and letting the knife do the work. And then use gloves when you're supposed to use gloves. Where are you at? I don't know where she went. He's here. But you're supposed to use gloves when you're putting up your food. That being said, I think we beat the chicken up enough. You guys overall did a good job on the chicken. And I'm going to let one of the chefs talk about the salmon. Okay, I got the fabrication of the salmon too. You guys were given a small piece of salmon, but ultimately, I learned a little trick at a school in New York called the CIA from a guy by the name of Corky Clark. Oh, you know that guy? Yeah, he's a devil dog. He's a Marine. I'm not mad at him, whatever. But what you want to do is you want to take that fillet of salmon over and just picture this in your minds. The head of the fish is on this side, the tail is on this side. You turn the skin side down, and then you take a little piece of the skin at the very bottom of the fish, way over here, and you lay the salmon down on the board, and you take a piece of paper towel, and you put your knife flat up against the tail of the fish, and you just wiggle the skin of the fish, holding the knife straight. And what happens is you get a beautiful, clean cut surface with no flesh or no fat left on the skin. And really, that's how you get evaluated on filleting the side of fish. You guys can get a whole side. I saw some of you struggle with the knife, trying to get underneath so you can pull it off. Some of you cut into the flesh. But I'm telling you, if you learn the proper tricks and the proper techniques now, it'll be very easy for you in your next phase of your career and of your culinary profession. So, use that, Google that, go online to the ACF website. There's a great demo on fish application, flatfish and roundfish. I'm telling you, if you spend the time to look it up online when you're at home, when you come to places like this, it'll be a lot easier for you. Yes. No, we did not check your fish. We evaluated on the chicken. But I like to master my craft, so I want to make sure that I'm getting a full picture and you're getting evaluated on everything. We didn't take points away if you hacked up your fish. But if you can be proficient in fabricating your chicken, you want to be proficient in fabricating the fish. Knife cuts are next.
No, we're sanitation. Oh, they're going to give it. I'll go after that. Let's just do sanitation.
Okay, sanitation and mise en place.
All right, sanitation and mise en place. Let's start off with two pet peeves, and I'm guessing the majority of these guys have this too. Good. Stand up straight. I saw our students.
He's right here.
Good night. What my daddy used to do, walk by, and he would hit it right between your shoulder blades. Put your shoulder blades back, and we're just standing there like crack. All right? There's nothing wrong with you, don't take an insult to him. Stand up straight. Settings go underneath your workstation, not above your workstation. Sanitation buckets are going to get changed up a couple times during your shift. I don't think I saw a lot of sanding buckets getting used. So use that sanitation bucket, wipe down your board, get rid of all that chicken contamination, change your board, clean your knife, and change your sanding bucket at the same time. It's just a good practice to get in. Every time you clean your board, think about cleaning your sanitation bucket at the same time. We touched on clutter. One reason possible for organization is having everything laid out in an orderly manner. There are people working on proteins and vegetables, sitting out and working on vegetables with nice things on your board. Think about what you're doing, connecting up your recipes so that you're doing one task at a time and your board is safe to do. Less messed up. Last thing I would say, at any given time you should be able to look out more and you should be clean. Again, when you wipe it down your board, fast over to your hands. Nothing ever gets rust down to the floor. If you're working clean, your tabletop should be organized and neat. The floor around your feet should be clean and orderly. Overall, we didn't see anything. We didn't see any violations that said, I won't eat your food. So that's a good thing. So we're getting rid of a violation. Overall, I think we did a pretty good job on sanitation. Practice. That's what it's going to take.
I'll back up on some of the salads. First of all, I want to talk about the salads. Some of the salads were excellent. Some of the concepts of the salads were excellent. But we had a little bit of problems with the rules. The rules said you had to have a full salad of the chicken protein. Not all of you had protein on the salad. So again, it goes back to understanding the competition, knowing and reading the rules ahead of time, and practicing those. If you were to practice the salad in advance, one of your instructors, hopefully, or one of your chefs would have caught the fact that you didn't have protein on the salad. But the dressings, most of them emulsified very nicely. Some of you had some very nice garnishes. Got very creative with the cheese, which was very nice to see. Some of you even served bowls frozen or cold, and that was nice. It was refreshing to see that. How many of you might show hands tasting your salad dressing? Okay, how many of you might show hands tasting your salad dressing on your salad greens? See the problem? This is the deal, guys. No matter what you do, no matter what you put on the plate, if you don't taste it before it goes on the plate, it's too late. Because a lot of times when you use bitter greens and you have a bitter dressing and you put both of them together, it doesn't work. So the dressing tastes good alone, but then you put it with bitter greens, and the greens don't taste good with the bitter dressing. So the point I'm trying to make is you have to taste everything together. So next time, make the dressing, taste it. Cut the greens, taste the greens with the dressing. If it needs to be adjusted, then you can adjust it. But once it goes to the plate, it goes to the judge or the customer, it's too late. Soups. Some very interesting soups today. I love the flavor of a lot of them. Some of you...
You broke it. Hey, that's the battery. No, just keep talking. Come right here.
Talk loud until I get you back on.
Come here in the center. Move you outside, boys.
Thanks.
Take one, boys.
The soups, nice stuff, but there's a key to making a great soup.
Thank you. There's a key to making a great soup. You just put the bones on as soon as you're done your fabrication, all your trimmings and all your scrap, and your mirror pork goes in your stock, and you cook it, and while it's cooking, there's a little classical term, to taking the fat off the top. Anybody know the name of that? Skimming? Okay, I'll take skimming, but there's a classical term. What? Clarified? No. Yeah, right. But anyways, the stocks, the way to get those really, really strong is to reduce them down with a slow simmer. And every time you have trimmings, I saw everybody putting in their little bags that said scraps or compost or usable waste. You guys are making a vegetable soup. If you have vegetable trimmings, all those trimmings should be going right into the stock pot. And then before you serve the soup, after you serve a very nice hot soup, you got to take the grease off the top. And when you take the grease off the top, there's a couple ways to do it. One of my favorite ways is to just run a wet paper towel across the top. And it's cold, and the grease sticks to the cold wet paper towel. And then you have a little cloth you usually have on the top. Some of the garnishes are very nice. In the knife cut portion, if you have knife cuts that are small, like the because they're great for soups, you should put those in there and make sure they're cooked. If you're tired, stand up. I got you. But your garnishes for your soup should also go to the spoon of the soup. Nothing should have to be cut. You didn't give us a knife, you just gave us a bowl and a soup spoon. So remember, when you do your garnishes, your chicken and your vegetables, they should fit on the bouillon spoon. Overall, some of you got very creative on the garnishes of the soup, which was great. You had all those things like pasta. No one used, some people used rice, no one used orzo. Somebody made gnocchi, which was very, very tasty. Overall, the soups were pretty much very good. How have you tasted your soups? See, that's the wrong answer. All the hands should be up right now. Everything you have to taste when you set it out. If it needs seasoning, you can adjust the seasoning. Once you serve your soup, it goes out to the customer, the judge, the diner, it's too late. You learned something from me? Proud of you guys. You guys did a great job. Thank you.
All right, everybody, thank you. We had the pleasure of doing entree one, and I think the first thing that I wanted to address was product ID. Notice that we saw a lot of great plays. Everybody's steering the chicken very well. Let's start off with some of the positive things that I saw. Everybody's steering the chicken very well. The utilization of the materials that you have. The next concern that we saw, or one that bothered me the most when it came to the starch, right, risotto. In the recipe it said arboreal rice. We saw orzo pasta, we saw converted rice, and I'm sorry, those people that used the wrong product, you guys are and I apologize, because enterprise ID, but that's the price that I can give all of you, other than what Chef Marquis said about tasting the pie and everything that goes out. Read through the recipes at least 3 times before you even turn on the range. That's the best piece of advice they ever gave me, and I do it every time. Even if I know the recipe, refresh myself with it and look at it. The last thing that I'm going to talk about is the julienne. This is going to tie at the end of the night together, okay? The julienne, quarter by 2.5 to 3, depending on how much you're talking to, okay? Make sure they're consistent. That was the biggest thing, right? Check your seasonings, taste your flavors.
Hello, everybody. I just want to say before we get into my critique of the sauce and the vegetables, at 16 or 17 years old, I was not even close to cooking to the ability that you guys cook today. And I think you guys really should recognize that. I was working in a deli at a younger age, but I wasn't even close to competition cooking. So you should first of all just recognize that piece of it is huge. That you were the people that came to this competition and you practiced to get here, I hope several times, and then you walked away from here with strengths, and then you walked away from here recognizing your weaknesses as well. Because that's what makes a better cook, is that you can recognize your strengths, you can recognize your weaknesses. One of the beautiful things that we can do while we cook is that we can adjust things, and we can make things different. So it's not about just cooking and getting it on the plate. I really think it's about cooking it correctly and getting it on the plate and then serving it. So there are things that you can do to adjust. So if your sauce is a little bit too cold, we saw a few cold sauces that came along the line, that can be adjusted with a little bit more You want to be there with a little bit of herb and a little bit of salt too. So be careful how heavy-handedly you go with cheese. Be careful how heavy-handedly you also go with black pepper as well. But to see the food flow and come to us, and if we taste it, and the chicken is properly cooked, a lot of the sauces are nicely done, a lot of the risottos were cooked properly, the vegetables had a lot of flavor on them, good bright colors, and the presentation, I'd say overall, like the balance of the protein to the starch to the vegetable was very consistent among all of you guys. You guys really had, we didn't have an enormous amount of rice and a small amount of vegetables. You had a nice balance of protein, starch, and vegetable. And I think you guys really should give yourselves a round of applause. And I hope you took a lot away from this day.
Hi everyone, I had entree too. I was one of the judges who talked about the salmon. Salmon dishes were really pretty good. We did have some issues, a couple issues. One of the things I would encourage you all to do is, let me give you an idea when you first saw a copy of this menu. Let me give you a date. Yesterday or today, or was it much earlier than today? How many of you saw this months ago? How many had a chance to practice? Some of you guys had a little bit of time to take a look. Good cooking techniques is what you really want. So anyway, let me just mention a couple of things that I noticed, and I'll mention some just a few negatives and some positives. With the salmon, I love sushi, but that wasn't what I was supposed to get fixed. We did have some of the dishes that were quite a bit undercooked. We need to be a little bit careful with that. Poaching technique. Should the water be boiling? And there was some indication that the water was too fast and there was overcooking taking place. Some of the proteins were coming out. That should be a very gentle, beautiful look. And you'll see some movement in the liquid when it's in the correct cooking temperature. So you just have to work it a little bit. We did notice that some of them really spoke. The flavor of the pork bouillon came out nicely. Some of them, honestly, it felt like or it tasted like it was just poached off into the water. So you were careful with that. The vinaigrettes, some of the you did with vinaigrette. But be very careful on the balance with that. Some of the potatoes you guys had. You had a parsley potato. You could have taken russet or another variety of potatoes that maybe showed. You got to be careful when you're working with some russet potatoes. What happens with that type of potato when you cook it in a high moisture environment? And then things will fall apart. They use it to know that it's going to take a little far and start to fall apart. It's like shapes that we try to make. Whatever coach you do, whatever coach you do, technique, nicely, I'd rather see a nicely garnished, less technical than mine, yet it is good. So, just be careful of that. The vegetable, it says stews and zucchini. Honestly, it's not making my favorite way to answer. You guys stews, zucchini, thank you. And with that particular one, in the recipe, it tells you some ingredients you needed to have in there. Some of you, I think, added tomato paste right at the end. Kind of cover yourself. And I think it was already mentioned in this trial. Some of you obviously didn't. There was quite a bit of hunger. And some of your plate presentations were really refreshing. Really nice look. Remember, we eat with our eyes. Eat with our eyes. Put it in my mouth. Start to get an impression of the overall flavor. And then, all of you. There's a little bit of time pressure. It seemed like in the very beginning, some of you entered in after about an hour, everybody started to
I'm going to jump in here real quick. I affectionately call myself the table mover. Most of my anniversary with us. So without these group of people, and there's been others that kind of trickle in and out through the day, and the 15 that helped us set the shows on Sunday,